After round 9, the verdict is in. Welcome everyone. Matt Thompson alongside Match Review Panel Chairman Mark Fraser. And Mark, we begin with bad news from North Melbourne. Jack ZIEBELL facing 3 weeks out. He's been charged with rough conduct on Adelaide's Jared Lyons. It's been assessed as reckless, low impact and high contact. Talk us through it.
Yeah, here with this one you see Lyons dispose of the ball, and then ZIEBELL, who was initially trying to smother, tucks the arm in, jumps in the air and makes forceful high contact. From the video evidence that we can see, we believe that there's enough force in that contact to warrant a low impact charge.
Now, Mark, to be clear on this one, if he was to fight at the tribunal, he'd be facing 4 weeks. His prior record really hasn't helped him here, has it?
No, unfortunately, he's had 7 matches in the past 2 years, which gives him a 50% loading, and then he's got some carryover points from a previous offence, so that increases it quite significantly. Normally, it'd be a 2-week charge down to 1 with 1 week with an early plea, but this time it's 4 down to 3.
Now, I guess if you'd have played a devil's advocate with this decision, you might say that he had no alternative, but you're pretty confident that he was initially attempting to smother.
Yeah, well, it looks like his arms are out initially there, but then it's after the ball's gone that he then decides to jump into the air and make the high contact, and therefore it's a reckless act and a charge from our behalf.
Yeah, and that was the other one, deciding to declare this one reckless as opposed to negligent.
Yeah, he jumps in the air, and unfortunately by jumping in the air, you should know that when you do that, that you have the potential to make the high contact, so jumping in the air gives it a reckless charge.
All right, let's turn our attention to Lions skipper Jonathan Brown now. He's facing a 1-week ban. He's been booked for striking Carlton's Michael Jamieson. Intentional low impact and high contact, this one. He'd risk 2 matches if he indeed decide to fight it.
Yeah, with this one you see Jamieson trying to get in front of Brown there, and Brown swings around his left arm and contacts him with the forearm in the chin. So we believe that's a low impact strike, and it was intentional because there was no other reason for him to do that.
Didn't even consider it being reckless, this action. It was definitely negligent.
Oh, we consider
definitely intentional.
Yeah, we consider all those sort of factors. So we discuss whether it's reckless or intentional, but he's not trying to get in front of Jamieson and throws his arm back recklessly. He's actually trying to swing that left arm round to contact him.
Yeah, and the key contact was actually with the forearm, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. All right, now this was an interesting one based on recent weeks. Magpie Darren Jolly making contact with Sydney's Ben McGlynn. Now you've given Jolly the all clear here.
Yeah, with this one you can see McGlynn tries to run into space and Jolly tries to block him, pops the arm out, and the high contact's made. The umpire saw it, and so I spoke to the umpire, and he said that with that he thought that there was not enough force in that to warrant a report. Obviously we look at the medical as well, and there was no sort of anything in that warranted us thinking it was a greater force. And from the video there you could see that he gets up and he's appealing for a free kick sort of straight away, so we didn't think there was enough force.
This question of force though is something that you're facing every week with these decisions. Is that making it harder, do you think, from your perspective, to try and, I guess, sell your message to the fans, to inform the fans about what's going on, this question of force that's causing doubt in people's minds as to why some things go and some things don't? Oh yeah, of course that's going to cause doubt with some people, but that's, I suppose, what we're here to do is when we assess that there's enough force. So we look at those incidents every week, and then after that experience and seeing what happens with medicals and the like, you do come to a conclusion as to whether there's enough force. And that's another key point too, isn't it? With all of these things, you get the medical reports, and for the most part they're kept confidential, but that is something, a key thing that comes into consideration each week. Oh, absolutely. Yep, all right. Now, finally, one unusual one to look at. Shane Edwards from Richmond. He's been booked for pushing bomber Dyson Heppell into the path of umpire Chris Donlan. Let's take a look. He's been fined for it. Yeah, with this one, you see the push and there's the umpire contact. Then we believe that Edwards' action to push him, whilst he wasn't deliberately trying to push him into the umpire, that sort of an act obviously caused the umpire contact, and the umpires need to be protected. So that's an avoidable situation. And that being the case, we think that that's worthy of a fine. And as far as Heppell is concerned, you believe, would have easily been able to avoid the umpire had he not been pushed. Yeah, we think that he could have got past the umpire if he hadn't been pushed. All right, Mark, thanks very much. Appreciate it as always. No worries, mate. Mark Fraser with us, the chairman of the MRP. Now, we have a full text report of all of the incidents looked at this week here online. The players charged have until 11 o'clock Tuesday morning to decide if they'd like to challenge those charges at the tribunal. Thanks for watching AFL.com.au. That's all for this edition of The Verdict.